So my name is Jason. I'm the founder and CEO of Senpai, which is a new product brand from Airstack, a company that I founded nearly 4 years ago. Airstack's been working at the intersection of crypto and AI for 4 years now. We've raised over $10 million during the last 4 years to build this. And the cool thing about this is we went live about 24 hours ago, and we've already had $50,000 worth of trading volume go through the Senpai AI trading platform. It is autonomous trading available today for anyone to use. It is live. Everything that I show you here today is 100% live, ready to be used, free to use for anyone. You just pay small trading fees. Thing about this is we were actually in a public beta for the last about 4 months. We had thousands of users. We actually had over 200,000 people registered for the service. We had thousands of people actually using it. They refined and gave us lots of feedback on it. And everything that I'm going to show you here today, as I said, is live. And it's also built 100% with Eliza OS open source plugins. All right. And so what that means is that everything that you see the agent doing here today, you can actually go on our GitHub and you can look at the repositories. You can fork them. You can examine every way that we've built this thing. And anyone can also add more and more skills to enhance Senpai. So the Senpai is infinitely extendable as well. So let's just watch a 2-second video first, and I'm going to go through Senpai.
From the dawn of civilization, humans have exchanged goods to survive. Trading shaped our communities and strengthened societies. It connected us globally, bringing markets together. Then trading went mobile.
You guys able to hear that, or is it too slow? Too low?
With autonomous trading, it evolves again.
All right, well, cut to the chase. We used to trade manually, then we trade digitally, and now we're going to trade autonomously. All right, so that's our launch video. But let's jump into it. So when you go to senpai.ai, it's going to look familiar. So if you've ever used something called ChatGPT, you ever use something called Claude Anthropic, way to think about Senpai is your on-chain GPT, right? And so a very familiar interface. Right now, when you access Senpai either on our website or in our apps. And in the very near future, you'll also be able to ask your Senpai questions anywhere. It could be iMessage, Telegram, WhatsApp. Your Senpai will be able to respond anywhere that you want to ask Senpai a question. And their Senpai right now, if you see it on this dashboard, one of the unique things that Senpai has that, say, like a ChatGPT and a Claude doesn't have is it has a wallet, right? And so Senpai has a crypto wallet built into it, is a wallet that is using Privy embedded wallets. And what that means is that the user, they're able to authorize their Senpai to do transactions on their behalf. And so it's a wallet where it's a key management that is shared between the user and their agent, and the agent's only allowed to trade based on conditions that the user basically authorizes the agent to do. And the way to think about Senpai is it is a kind of a GPT, right? So it is you're able to add, just like you've done with ChatGPT, like you can ask it pretty much anything. With Senpai, you can ask anything that's related to anything on chain, and it actually can do transactions on your behalf. You can see at the top left hand, there's a area called skills. We're going to go into this pretty deep, but everything that I show you, all these skills, we call them, they're essentially Eliza plugins that are then integrated into Senpai. And the integration just means that the user is able to install the plugin. And so their agent is able to use that plugin. So it could be like, for instance, like yield hunting, doing on-chain loans, or it could be analyzing sentiments. And then what also happens when you integrate the plugin, it also allows it to make use of the user's wallet. And that's the key thing here, is that Senpai is a trading agent. But when you think about, like, a lot of people think about agents, they think about like a lot of things that agents might do just like completely autonomously in the future. Senpai is live here today. Everything here, you can see lots of templates you can actually do live today. So I'm going to show you a few things that you can ask Senpai. So this is a great example of how you can use Senpai to basically add people to groups and then set automated rules with Senpai for those groups. So in this example, this is actually a real entry with Senpai where I said, add these users, and you can @mention anyone on Farcaster, any ENS name, any base name, or do any 0x address manually. Anyone who's on the base blockchain today. We'll be going multi-chain very soon, but we have millions of users that are on the base blockchain you can identify with their actual identities. You just @mention them like you would do in any social app. And here you see I'm saying add Jesse Pollock, Beta Shot, DWR, Ace, etc. to a group called Copy Trade. And the agent's going to then set that up, that group, and then I can set up an automation. And the automation is I can say, hey, if 3 people in the Copy Trade group, if they all buy a token within an hour of each other, buy me, say, $500 of it, and then sell it for once the price goes up by 50%. And you can do all sorts of different ways of basically having your agent autonomously trigger a buy for you, right? You can say if let's say a new coin launches and it's launched by this person, and let's say it achieves a $10,000 market cap, buy it for me. Or let's say if these 3 people buy something, and the really cool thing is not just knowing when to buy, but the agent can also automatically sell. Because if you've ever done crypto trading, everyone knows that part one is just getting the right signal when to buy. The harder part is knowing when to sell and not getting wrecked, right? And this is where an agent can really come into play. With Senpai, you can actually tell your agent buy when they buy and sell when they sell. So it'll actually be looking for all the people who choose buys triggered your buy. It'll automatically sell for you when they sell, and you can even specify a certain percentage. You can say, and if they sell 50% or 30%, sell all of mine right away. Or you can say, set a stop loss. If it drops more than 20% my entry point, sell it for me. And the user does not need to sign any transactions to do this. They literally just authorize their agent. The agent will confirm the instructions, and then they can just literally have the executed while they're sleeping, right? So what this does is that, like, you think about for new people to crypto who maybe they're excited about the notion of their friends making some money in crypto, but they're really scared about getting wrecked and losing their shirts. It allows them to comfortably use LLM, use natural language, use their agent to identify alpha and to get in and get out and to make profits. So this is actual live trade that we did yesterday. Let me get to the next one here. You also can use Senpai to get market intelligence. So you can ask Senpai to tell you what's trending today. It'll tell you tokens that are trending and why they're trending. It can also help you find who the whales are. It can actually tell you who's trading. You can do P&L analysis. You can identify who are the top holders. All of these are different skills, different plugins that the agent's trained on. And then basically you can say, well, buy the dip for me. So in this case, it's, all right, I found some information about Bracky, and then say, if buy me $1,000 worth of Bracky, the price drops by 5%, and the agent will just execute that for you. Another example here is, P&L analysis. So you actually can ask your agent, how much money have I made this week through trading? And it's not just on the agent wallet. It'll actually analyze all your wallets and tell you that, and then also whose copy trades that were responsible for your profits as well. This is an example of another version of a copy trade group. 3 people in this group buy a token within 15 minutes of each other. So let's say everyone's aping into a meme coin. You can then automatically buy you the token as well. And then as you see, there's a sell when they sell condition here, which is really cool. So not only do you get the right signal to go in, but your agent is helping you get out as well. Let's see. So this is also really cool. You can use Senpai right now to find the top holders of a token. So you can say who are the top holders, who are the top traders. You can say who has the highest P&L of a token. And then you can instantly just ask the agent to add them all to a group for you. So this is actually, I've got a number of groups like this that are set up right now. So I'm tracking what are hot tokens, who are the top traders. Add them to a group, and then you set up certain rules. And a lot of people are really doing all sorts of experiments with this. As I said, we've had $50,000 worth of trading happening on Senpai in the first 24 hours. And people are just setting up strategies. And one of the next things we'll do is we'll also enable people to share their strategies with other people in our group, but we'll also enable the strategies themselves to be shared. People could see, okay, I see someone's strategy is making this amount of money, this is the P&L in it, and then you can essentially buy that strategy or rent that strategy from them as well. A couple other things just to show everyone is, so this is probably the coolest thing about Senpai. Everything that you're seeing that is live in Senpai today, as I said, there's 16 skills that Senpai has. Every single one of those skills is built on Eliza OS plugins, which means that anyone can build a skill. Anyone can basically ask for a pull request on Senpai's GitHub. And if your pull request is accepted, it goes live essentially in the App Store for Senpai. So anyone can install your skill, which is like a plugin. Some might call them like mini agents, whatever it is. But essentially, it enables the Senpai on-chain GPT to be infinitely extendable. So anything that anyone can think up can become part of Senpai. And there's thousands and thousands of developers who've been building Eliza plugins. And what we provide them now is distribution, and we provide them with monetization, we provide them with users. And so we have seen a lot of Eliza developers who've been really excited by the Eliza kind of framework coming to us and saying, okay, I've been building plugins, I've been playing around with this, I'm starting to learn Eliza version 2, and now I actually can get real people to actually use my plugin. I don't have to worry about like every plugin doesn't have to try to survive on their own. They can actually just kind of come inside of the Senpai GPT, and users can choose to install your plugin and to use it, and to use it also with their wallets. So there's a lot of kind of work that goes into that and how we do kind of the wallet management, but really cool the way the whole thing is extendable now. So I encourage everyone to go to the next slide. Yeah, you can just go up. Yeah, so here is, if you go to our, if you go to Senpai, you'll see that you can get to our docs as well. There's the developer.senpai.ai. You can learn how to build your first skill, how to integrate it into Senpai. Everything I showed you here today is 100% live, ready to go, usable. If I had a laptop right here, I just literally do live queries right now. You can open up your phone and do it right now. It works perfectly well on mobile. Think about with Senpai, you can analyze the market, you can analyze users, you can set up copy trading, you can set up automations, and we're adding much, much more very, very quickly. So it's really a pleasure to be here today. Thrilled to launch Senpai. As I said, $50,000 worth of trading has happened through the Senpai Autonomous Trading Agent in the first 24 hours. Just getting started. Please send us your feedback. Thank you all very, very much. Cheers. Yeah, so the question was, are we indexing database, what you said? Yeah, so right now Senpai is on the Base blockchain. We're optimizing on Base first. We've been building on Base since the very start of Base. And then we'll be expanding the next chain. So we're doing our Solana, Ethereum mainnet, and BNB. Every single transaction on Base, correct. Yeah, every transaction, every user, every swap. Swaps are routed through 0x. Limit orders are through CowSwap. And we use about a dozen different services plus our own internal indexing. AirStack started off 4 years ago as AI-powered blockchain indexing. So that's what kind of our advantage in this whole space, especially not just on transactions, but also on users and identities. So we've actually indexed anytime someone, let's say, has any 0x address on Base, ENS, their base name, their Firecaster, we know all their wallets and can link it all together. We actually have over 500,000 X users linked to Base addresses as well. So you can literally, launching about a week, be able to say, this person I'm following on X, I just want to follow their trades. Yeah.
Trading strategies usually require quite a good deal of backtesting, especially automated one.
Yeah.
How you do this with agent powered?
Yeah. So,
otherwise, you're risking losing a lot of funds.
Well, so we think about this as so you're gonna probably hear from a lot of people today or at other kind of conferences here about everyone's gonna talk about autonomous trading, and what they're talking about is this future that I think we're still about 18, 24 months away from, where you're literally just giving agents some money and it just trades for you and finds the best kind of, right? Just everything's literally autonomous. We're taking a step-by-step approach. And that step-by-step approach is we empower the user to instruct their agent as to what the agent should do for them. The agent is not yet, entirely thinking on it, on behalf of the user yet, right? And so in this case, it's just like, you own your own keys, you're responsible for your trades without an agent. You own your own keys, you own your own strategies here. You're responsible for guiding your agent, instructing your agent. Your agent's just executing your commands. But what your agent is able to do, though, is do things that no human could do on their own without the agent. Because, for instance, if I were to say, if any 5 people in this group, if they buy a token within 15 minutes of each other and then sell 50%, the agent can just do all that for you without the user having to actually kind of do all the research to figure that out. That's what the agent's doing for you now. And we look at this like a step-by-step process. We really think that with tools like Senpai, for the next 6 months, a lot of kind of alpha and advantage is going to go to users who are really good at training their agents. And then I think we'll start to see the agents training the users, right? And so the users will be learning and say, hey, I think you should try this strategy or try this strategy, or here's maybe what you want to alter that. And then I think the phase after that is you're literally just handing your agent money and saying, hey, go make money for me. Which, by the way, I think you have to really think through, if everyone's doing that, then no one's got the alpha. So that becomes very hard too as well.
Thank you for that, Jason. Thanks for
All right, thank you everyone. Really appreciate it. Thank you.